welcome back to the Lighthouse Editions topic show. My name is Joe, and I am your host for today, and I'm here with our drug-free Anaheim friend, Colin. Hi, Colin, welcome. So today we're going to be discussing the PARI program and drug-free Anaheim. But first, I'd like to get to know you a little bit more. So you did tell me briefly earlier that you do have a history in recovery as well. Would you like to elaborate a little bit?
Yes, I do. I was a polysubstance user. Started using it actually in the 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
Started running into difficulties, trouble at school, obviously, things like that, very early on in my addiction. At 24 years old on Cinco de Mayo 2001, I found myself on a beach, and I had my 3rd bottle of 151 in one hand, and I had a 9mm in the other, and I couldn't take a pull on either one. And I left them both on the beach and went to an Alano club. I didn't know about treatment centers at the time. I had avoided them because I knew that my friends that went there disappeared and you never heard from them again. So I kind of viewed it as some kind of a cult or something like that. So I detoxed myself in the bed of a pickup truck outside of the Alano club in Fullerton. And all the secretaries of the meetings would bring me blankets and pillows and coffee and bring me in, and I'd go to the meetings and things like that. And, you know, for the first time in a long time, I felt safe in those meetings and been there ever since.
Since 2001. Yeah. Wow, that's quite a long time. Congratulations on your sobriety. And you are an inspiration. So could you explain to us what the PARI program is and what PARI stands for? So it's PAARI.
Yeah, it's Police Assisted Addictions Recovery Initiative. That's a mouthful.
Or PARI.
So basically it was started by a police officer or chief of police in Gloucester. He was noticing the beginning of the opiate epidemic in his city, in his community, and decided that he could use law enforcement as first responders to help combat that. So he started where addict could turn themselves in to one of his officers. They would then take them directly to the hospital where they would detox and then be placed in treatment after that. But it's all a voluntary program going through there. It has since grown. This started, I believe it was 4 or 5 years ago. It has now grown to over 210 different police departments.
All over the nation.
Throughout the nation. There's even some in other countries now that have started.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome. And so Drug-Free Anaheim is a branch of that, right?
Yes.
Of the PARI program. And you actually are the project coordinator of the entire Drug-Free Anaheim project. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the mayor of Anaheim, Mayor Tate, went to a conference of mayors to figure out what they were going to do in different cities about the opiate epidemic and heard about this program, the original PARI program. So he came back and kind of bounced around the idea off of some of the police officers, and the drug task force for Anaheim said that they had some seizure money. It wasn't much, but it was enough to kind of start a contract. So they put a contract together to find an organization that would take it over and actually roll out a program with it. So that's Social Model Recovery Systems won the contract. And so they hired me on. I've been working 8 years in dual diagnosis at an emergency stabilization hospital for mental illness.
Wow.
So they brought me on. I have a military background. My dad was law enforcement, so they kind of felt like it was a good fit at the time.
Yeah, you sound perfect for the job. So could you tell us what exactly are the qualifications or requirements, not qualifications, but the requirements for somebody to, like, how does the process work? Does somebody just go up to the police department doorstep and say, hey, I need help? And if they do so, like, what are some things that you screen for?
Sure. I'm very lenient. Really the only thing that I can't place into treatment would be if you have a sexual offender history. Just because the treatment centers are so hesitant to take them in.
For the safety of their communities and stuff.
So pretty much it has to be voluntary. I get a lot of parents calling thinking that because it's law enforcement that I can force their children into treatment. I can't force anyone into treatment. That's against the law. My officers are not going to arrest anyone if they don't go to treatment. But pretty much they're going to do a screening with me. They can reach out to officers in the field. I'll go through the homeless embankments and things like that with the homeless task force of Anaheim. So I'm with those officers a lot out in the field. And the officers will call me out at parks and things like that when they find an addict that says that they're fed up with the life that they're living. So I put them in contact with me. I do about a 10-minute screening. It's not much. And then I can make the appropriate referral depending on what their struggles are.
Okay, and Lighthouse Treatment Center is located in Anaheim, and we do proudly participate in the Drug-Free Anaheim and PARI program. So yes, thank you so much for your hard work with everything and what you do to help people. So the question that I have is, you did mention earlier in our conversation that what about like court, if they have like probation? What were you saying?
If somebody's on probation or has outstanding warrants, if it's a warrant, I actually have to get permission from the Department of Probation, and they have to do that through a judge. So that's kind of a lengthy process to go through, which slows down getting into treatment.
Right.
If they're on probation also, then I have to get permission from the probation officer so that people aren't just disappearing on them and not knowing what's going on.
Very true. Okay, so do you offer this to people who are already incarcerated?
I have tried it, unfortunately it's a lengthy process going through the court system, and I do not have the time to kind of advocate for getting people into treatment by judges' orders right now. Okay. So I could see maybe down the road it might be able to expand into that, but right now, no, I can't.
Okay. So we actually take 2 clients from Drug-Free Anaheim a month, and what we do is we provide them scholarships, and it is kind of first come, first serve. It's not all the time that we're able to offer this, but when our company can, we absolutely do it. We think it's very important to give back to the community. So how many scholarships have we given out?
Anaheim Lighthouse, I have to say, has been one of the best organizations to work with in my program. I mean, they contacted me within 3 days of me getting hired on to coordinate this project, and have been a strong advocate for helping in any way that they can. And so far, I've had 7 participants go through my program that went through Anaheim Lighthouse, and I know that most of those are doing well. Yeah,
the bulk of them are doing really, really good. So I actually run the alumni program here, so I follow up with them pretty often. Do you have anything you would like to say to family members or loved ones with somebody who is addicted to alcohol or drugs?
Don't give up. Be as supportive as you can. The reality will eventually hit, I believe, every addict, and there's hope. And if the best that you can do is give them my direct cell phone number, I have no problem with that. The general public has it, so they can always call 714-357-2841. If I'm asleep, I'm probably not going to hear it to wake up, but I will call it back the next morning. Okay.
Beautiful. And do you have anything you'd like to say to somebody who is currently struggling with an active addiction?
There's hope out there, and I don't care if you're living on the riverbank right now and don't feel that anybody cares. I know a lot of treatment centers that really do care and are here to make a difference, so I will plug you into those centers.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having
Just a reminder that we are here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Facebook.com/Lighthouse Treatment. See you guys next week.